Welcome back, everybody. It is February 17th, run streak, day 137. Nice and sunny this morning, but looks can be deceiving. It's like 14 degrees right now, 14 Fahrenheit. Pretty cold out here. Not windy though, luckily, so I'm not complaining. Pretty crazy. It's hard to tell with the GoPro probably, but on the Raccoon River here, tons of ice just floating down the river, and it's all getting jammed up at the dam over there where the Raccoon River meets the Des Moines River. Pretty awesome looking. The sidewalks, roads, trails are all pretty well cleared at this point. They've done a good job of plowing and shoveling and whatnot. Yesterday was a bit of a mess because they were trying to plow and trying to clear, but it just kept coming down. It was a lot of snow that we got yesterday, so luckily they do a good job here though, and today's much better, much clearer. The road should be good, so I should be able to go work tonight, no problem. That'll be good. Pretty crazy. I just figured I'd stop here by the river just to kind of show all the snow and ice floating downstream. Basically, it's crazy, and it's just endless. It just keeps coming. It's going to be a big buildup over there at the dam, although some of it's actually flowing over. Hopefully it won't build up too much, but pretty wild. Well, I figure here on the river is as good a spot as any to talk about last night's running movie. So last night's running movie was a substitution. We are unable to find Run Fat Boy Run. It was supposed to be at the library, so we walked over to the library yesterday. It's not there, even though it says it's there and available to rent. We could not find it, so it's probably just misplaced, like somebody put it in the wrong spot, but it's not where it's supposed to be, basically. And it is not streamable. It says in my area this is not available to stream on any platform whatsoever. So I don't know, maybe it's available to stream in the UK but not in the United States. Not sure how that makes any sense, but either way we had to substitute that one out, and I figured I would do it with a documentary instead of a movie. So the documentary that we watched last night was called The Runner, and it was about a man named David Horton who wants to break the speed record for doing the entire Pacific Crest Trail. So from Mexico all the way up to Canada, and you go through California, Oregon, and Washington in between. Pretty cool. It was a pretty cool movie. It was interesting how they went along with it. Now, the record at the beginning of the movie, I think he said was, I want to say it was either 82 or 83 days was what he was aiming for, and it averaged out to be about 38 miles a day. What ended up happening though is as he was trying to finish his time or whatever, somebody else was already out there running it, and they ended up beating the record themselves. So he then had to up his speed in order to beat this new person who is the new record holder, who I'm gonna spoil it here for you guys, he ends up doing it. So this other guy who worked all, you know, that hard to get the record probably only held it for a couple weeks by the time Mr. Horton finished with the speed record. So yeah, it was interesting though. It was great scenery along the way. Pretty interesting story. Seems like a nice guy. Can't say I've ever heard of him, surprisingly. No knock on Mr. Horton there. But no, it was a good documentary overall. I'd say if you can watch it, watch it. It's one that I actually own, that I got, like, oddly enough, like years ago. I think it was a 2005 documentary is when it was made. It was somewhere around there anyway. It might have been slightly before or slightly after 2005. But I've owned it for years and have never watched it for whatever reason. So I figured last night was the time to break it out, and it was pretty good. I'm gonna rate it at, let's give it 3.8 out of 5 stars. Well worth a watch. Go check out The Runner documentary wherever you can find it. Woke up this morning and had a little bit of pain in my left ankle because yesterday, not on my run, but after, I was out walking, and the snow had just covered up a hole basically, and I stepped in it, rolled my ankle a little bit, but luckily it wasn't bad at all. Like, it feels fine now. It was just a little sore when I woke up, and on that first like quarter mile of the run, I could kind of feel it a little bit, but I think the kinks have been worked out now and pretty much pain-free at this point. Birthplace of Des Moines, Fort Des Moines number 2, 1843 to 1846, presented to the city of Des Moines by the Des Moines Birthplace Association, June 6th, 1965. I actually shot a video here the other day, but I want to say it was one of those days where I was having computer issues and it ended up being throwaway footage. But yeah, pretty interesting. Just little, looks like a log cabin right in the middle of downtown. Like downtown's right there, and we're over here by Principal Park is right behind me over there on this side. But pretty cool little piece of history here. I'll have to look it up to see, you know, a little bit more about the history. I don't know too much about it. I know Fort Des Moines is a couple miles down the street. Maybe like that's Fort Des Moines number 1 down the street and this was number 2. I'm not sure. But one of these days, I'd like to see what in the heck is inside this thing. See what it looks like in there. Very old little shack. If I'm wrong and I did include this in another video before, I apologize for the repetitiveness, but you're gonna have to sit through it anyway. But I think I'm done. So back to running. All right, all done with the run. Ended up being just over 5 miles, 5.11 I think it was. Pace today 9 minutes 19 seconds. Not too bad. My one remaining ice cleat, aka yak track, is hanging in there. It's still kicking. I do have my other pair, but I really don't prefer those, to be honest. They're sitting in the truck. I should probably grab them out just in case I need them, like if this one breaks or something, but so far I've been good with just using the one. So that's good news. Anyway, gonna go get warmed up, get dressed, get ready for the work day, and yeah, just get on with it. Thanks everybody for watching. Have a good weekend, have a good Friday night. Take care.